So what are you bringing today? What are you bringing today as you come into the church, right? What is it that you care about as you step into this place? House of prayer, a house of my Father's house. It's a place where we're supposed to be able to meet with God, right? To dwell in his presence, to receive forgiveness for our sins. Or is it a place where you bring marketplace values, right? Worldly values into it. So how does Jesus respond to this, right? He is incredibly upset. He made a whip of cords. Now, this word cords is sort of like rushes, it's reeds, okay? It's like, so it's not like a whip that you met, like Indiana Jones kind of whip, okay? It's like with like plants, okay? So he's not gonna hurt anyone with this thing. But he was so full of this, right? Zeal. He was so full of it that he was able to drive everyone out, flipping tables. What do you get zealous about? What do you get zealous about? You know what I find really sad is people who don't get zealous about anything. And I'm not talking about about your own life, like, oh, I'm so upset at that professor, or like, how could they do this in, like our like problem set or whatever. Like, I'm not talking about that kind of stuff, but stuff outside of your own life, right? People sort of don't get zealous about anything outside of their own life. They just float through life. They're just chill about everything, like whenever somebody gets worked up, they're like, yo, dude, chill, right? The reason I get sad for them is because if you don't get zealous about anything, that means you don't really love anything either. You don't love anything outside of yourself, or maybe just your family, right? Your whole life it's that small, it's that selfish. I think someone like that would have no issues with the money changer inside the temple, right? Over the years, I've gotten a lot closer and closer to God's heart. And as I do so, I get angrier and angrier at sin. I get more and more upset about how Satan influences the world. Society's attacks on sort of all the good boundaries that God has given to us, right? Like marriage and gender. Education system is sort of teaching our kids all kinds of crazy things. I get upset at the judicial system, racial injustice. I get upset at the social media companies who are robbing people of their lives, their attention, their hearts. I get really upset at the TV and movie industry. I had this experience once. Have you guys seen Friends, the sitcom Friends? Yeah? Is that still a thing? People know about that? Yeah, that was really huge back in the day, and I heard it kind of had a resurgence. I remember watching, it was so fun. And then, after I'd been Christian for a couple years, I watched another episode. And I was just shocked. I guess I had become holier or something. But the way they talk about casual sex, I was like, wow. Amongst those group of friends, I think almost every combination had happened. Everyone had sex with everyone at some point in the however many seasons it was, except for the brother and sister. In movies, the hero and heroine, they ain't getting married, right? By the end of those 2 minutes. So I find myself getting really mad at that stuff. Really angry. I got really angry at the Friends sitcom. It's because I have daughters. And I look at my daughters and I'm like, I don't want them to do that. I don't want them to get influenced by that. I get upset at street preachers who seem like they're more interested in getting attention than about sharing about Jesus' love and representing Jesus well. I get upset at churches that preach a watered-down gospel, preach health and wealth. I get upset when marketplace values invade the church. And people inside the church are indistinguishable from those outside. It says, zeal for your house will consume me. Have you ever become zealous for the house of God? Why not? Why not? Is there something else that consumes you? I think we need to recover anger, a righteous anger, not a selfish anger, but a righteous anger, an anger at things that should not be, an anger at things that threaten the house of prayer. So you know that chill dude that I was talking about, like, that never got upset at anything? That was me. Growing up, I just didn't care about much. I was just whatever's about everything. Nothing. But it's only when I met Christ and he changed my life that I started to care. And my zeal grew. As I delved into his word and I prayed more, God slowly taught me how to hate sin and how to love people. And if you don't have a zeal for God's house, for his heart, start by loving people. Start by loving someone. I think love is the key to righteous anger. Because anger without love is ugly, right? It's just outrage. I think actually that's what a lot of people know Christians for. It's just outrage, right? It's anger without love. Start with loving someone.